So this is the continuation of the discussion with Myint Thein on Tuesday 31st of October. I thought one thing that would be very helpful for people in future to hear is how the actual system worked in your time as Deputy Minister.
Yes. Day-to-day working of the ministry, and also I'll mention this, start with this ministry, and also it's almost the same as running a corporation or enterprise also. So I think I mentioned to you yesterday that it has to start with the economic plan of the country. Because it's a socialist plan economy, we have an economic plan, long-term plan, say 30 years, 5 years plan, and then yearly plan. Yearly plan is formed into sort of a budget, and these are the target the either ministry as a whole or individual corporation has to achieve in 1 year or in 5 years, or for the long term, what we will become in 30 years' time. These are the target, and we all work towards that. And that's a basic of the thing. So for the daily working, I'll talk in detail for the ministry.
Was it production-oriented rather than profit-oriented? Production-oriented.
It's mainly the production, not profit-oriented, because it's a planned economy. They're from the top. The planning department, planning ministry will have said what sector will be given. For instance, our mineral sector is the third. The first sector is agriculture. The second is the forest. That's how it should go. For the mineral industry, it was both foreign export and also mainly to supply the local industry need what we need. For instance, I mentioned other day about the industrial minerals. We have this new mill and plants coming up. Like we need more cement. So to make cement, we will need limestone and gypsum and all this kind of thing. So these are the targets which we are asked, which our duty, our ministry duty is to fulfill, rather than making a profit. But the planning goes like that. So official running of day-to-day business in ministry is, I suppose, it's connected with the organization of the ministry. Well, in the ministry we have the minister, then we have deputy minister, maybe one or two, and then under the ministry there is also one person who is also quite important for day-to-day running. That is what they call it permanent secretary. In our day, it's the head of office, the office of the minister. And these are in the ministry. And under the ministry, there are various departments and the enterprises. For instance, in the mining ministry, we have two departments. Mines department, geological surveys department, and then at our time, it's about 6 enterprises. So this is the structure.
And where did the military fit into that structure?
Well, military fit in the personnel, not as a ministry, at an entity, but the ministers were appointed from ministry, the military. The director generals and directors were all taken from military.
Including the head of office?
Yeah. If there is a vacancy, it will be mainly filled by this people from military.
And did any of them have technical training or?
No. They have the most they have is they have 2 military schools. The one I mentioned other day is Defense Services Academy. It started same as the year I arrived to Yangon University in 1954, and that's one academy. And then we have Officer Training School. They call it OTS. So they produce these officers after 4 years training of military as well as science and management and all that. These are supposed to be Mr. Know-all. They are trained in management. They know everything. Not only the military affairs. So all these people who come in as an officer will be either from DSA graduates or OTS graduates. So they too are also fighting each other. A very, very rivalry. DSA first batch and so for instance, OTS is the first one, you see. First training school. So I think DSA first one and OTS 29 is almost the same. So whether you are senior or I'm senior, all this kind of thing. Our local ordinary graduates come a second choice. You see,
so it's a hierarchical structure.
Hierarchical structure. Yeah. Previously, the English left this structure, so we were trained in a university, and then we work in that department. After few years, you will get up one strand of letter, and then another strand, then another strand, like that. I start with a junior engineer, and then assistant engineer, and then senior engineer, something like that, you see. It's goes, but all of a sudden, on the top, they'll come in for my place. So very lucky few has reached the top, very few. For instance, in our ministry, I said just now that altogether 2 departments and 6 enterprises under the ministry. All the head of these enterprises and departments, except for 1 or 2, is all ex-military.
Do you think that's to give them jobs or to keep an eye on what everybody was doing?
Yeah, well, they wanted to have the influence of the military in the country, and then they wanted to train more. So they try to push all those people to the civilian office, you see. So that's what happened. So getting back to how this thing run, in my time, it might not be same as the other, maybe a little bit different, but generally it's the same style.
And you were 14 years, so you were from...
I worked as a junior engineer.
Deputy Minister though? What?
As a deputy minister, I worked for 14 years. My total service is 43.
2000 and...
I start as a young engineer is 1963, and then I retired as a deputy minister 2006.
And your period as deputy minister was
1992. I'll give you a copy of my curriculum vitae just to check afterwards. So for deputy minister, I worked for about 13 years. 13 years.
So how the thing actually worked at that time?
Well, while I become a deputy minister, in a way I was a bit lucky, I suppose. The first minister was General Momonkin. He was educated not from this DSA, trained in England. He is a Navy man. So we see, he is very good English also, we see eye to eye. So this is my first boss as a deputy minister. Then next man is also called Brigadier General Myint. He is also not from DSA. He started as a young soldier, and he was chosen because he was good and trained in this ODS, officer training school. I don't know what year he became a captain, and then when he became a minister, he was also good. The third one is very bad. The third one, I had my problem with the third one. The third one is Brigadier General Myint. He was the 11th batch of DSA, which is, I think, same as Myint Thein saying about that. Anyway, these are the three ministers I served as a deputy.
How long did
minister.
you have with each? How long was the last minister there for you?
Minister was the last minister was the longest one.
Oh.
Longest one. I had to struggle with him. See, he came in, I think, 1997. 97. So I worked with him for 9 years. 9 years.
And what was the difference was it a style difference?
Style is very different. Well, I started with the day he first arrived. I went into his office. I told him that I am an engineer, trained as an engineer. I work in this ministry at that time for many years. I mean, that was 1997. So if you want to do anything, or if you want to ask anything, please let me help you. You know what he said? No. I don't need any help from you. I came with a mission from the top. I'll do myself. We don't need a servant like you. So I came out of his room. That was the first day. So I just offer my services that I could help him. You can ask him what is happening in the ministry, who is what. I know most of the people, you see. So I offered that, but he wouldn't accept. That kind of man.
Do you think there was some order from the top that they wanted to shake up the ministry or something?
Yeah, of course.
And why would that be?
They just want everything in their hand. They just want us to let control. But of course, he can speak English. At that time, there was a lot of foreigners, I think including you, a lot of visits. So whenever they come, I have to translate for him. Deputy minister translating for him. After a few years, he get quite not good, you see. So he didn't ask me to translate. He asked other young boy to translate, who can translate very well also. So that's how I work with him. Getting back to day-to-day business, I think I told you yesterday on the phone that this is the English system. What they call is all the incoming letters. In those days, we don't have this computer or any communication, only by letters, because the letters are only official. So every day there will be delivery of letters from either from the post office or by courier come in. And these letters were put into a box. They call it deck, D-E-K, deck. I don't know. This is the Indian word.
Okay.
So anyway, we have to read the deck. All the letters were registered by the head of office. If it is say by name, if it is to Myint Thein, he's not allowed to open. If it is say it is top secret, and with the minister's name, he's not allowed to open it. But other than that, he can open everything register them, and then put it up to me. The head of office will put up to me, to the deputy minister. We have 2 deputy ministers. So this deck will come to me about say 11:30 or 12, and then again about 3:30 or so, 2 times. So I read the letters, and if that needs to be addressed to be put up to the minister, I mark it down, ask him to put up the case. The letter is open, and then what they call the case, you have to write it again, the subject and what is near. For instance, somebody is asking a transfer. I have been staying here so many years, so please transfer me to some place, I have my problems, this kind of thing. Or somebody wants to buy something, and these letters will be put right again on a paper, and then with a cut, it become a case. And then it will come back to me, and then I will say, look, because sometimes some of the thing I can give the decision, some other thing I cannot. Those I cannot, I put up to the minister as a file. And then he will read it, and he will just seen or yes or no, or then he send it back. That's how we work, you see. So because there is 2 deputy ministers, the other deputy minister also, I send the deck, the box to the other deputy minister also. He can look through whatever. He is in charge of this jams and whatever concern he will send up. But the same man, we have only one head of office. So that's how we work in the ministry itself, the office of the minister.
And that was in existence pre the military rule.
Yeah, it was established from the English time.
Right.
And then what is new is that, particularly in our ministry, some of the ministers didn't like that. What we have a committee, executive committee, we call it EC. It consists of ministers, deputy minister, head of office from the minister's office, and all the director general and the managing directors of the 8 departments. So all of this form our EC, working group. At least once a year, ministers sit down at a meeting, or if there is an urgent matter, the EC might be called upon any notice. Maybe once, or say suppose we have a huge fire in the mines, EC will be called. So this EC decide everything for promotion, transfer, anything. Also the budget. The budget is also very, very important, because every year we have to plan how much we have to produce, and the minister at the EC will say, look, this 3 months is already gone. You are supposed to produce 25% of the target. You haven't reached that target. What is the problem? Let me know. That kind of thing, you see. Or if the target is exceeding the target, he is given a good blouse, you see. So this kind of thing. So this EC, we work with this EC.
Now, during the pre-62, there would have been all technically professionals in the position. So when you have people who didn't understand the system, did that lead to more, like some of the answers were not what a professional would have decided? Did it make it difficult for the professionals in the department like you to be able to convince?
Well, we have to try. I have to try my best to explain to him. But as I said, I was very lucky to have the first 2 ministers. For instance, just to give you just a particular experience I have. I think I mentioned that this MICCL, Myanmar Ivanhoe Copper, we borrow money from the Japanese firm. Amount was 90 million US dollars. Marubeni, we negotiate. But just before the conclusion of the final conclusion, the Canadian side sent an international lawyer from Canada to help me. He explained to me that this is the international practice, that if you like to borrow from any bank, somebody who is really responsible have to give what they call comfort letter. He asked that to get this 90 million, you must get the approval of the minister, a comfort letter. Well, you can see my position. You see, nobody would dare to go in and talk to them general that please sign a comfort letter. He drafted the letter already that in case of default, I took the responsibility on my own to pay back this 90 million. So that time was Myint. Myint was there. It was, I think, 1996, just before we go, 1990, around 95 or 96. Anyway, I explained to him that this is the international lawyer sent from Ivanhoe. He explained to me, can you please help us? He was quite wild, you know. How can I give you a comfort letter? You bullshit, don't come and tell me no. If you don't, we can't get this 90 million. If we don't get the money, this plan cannot go on. He cooled down a bit. And then he said, okay, then I'll ask somebody. Then he rang up the another general who was at that time finance minister. So he rang him up. Look, Myint Thein is telling me to give him a comfort letter. Shall I do it or not? No, this is very silly. So the other said, no, Coach Oman, this is the usual practice. You must sign it. I have been doing that many times because he's a finance minister. So he said, okay, I will sign it. It was only 2 weeks before this, 1997 financial collapse, the markets collapse. We finished this financing loan. This kind of thing, you have to educate them, you have to tell them. I didn't even know myself that this is the comfort letter is the international practice. This kind of thing. So
that's at the very top level.
Yeah.
But did they also, what the directors general who were military people, were some of them keen to learn and to try, or
that depend on personnel. I have many experiences with the different types of personnel. One of the director general was, I mentioned that U Thong yesterday. Another one after U Thong is we have one, my immediate boss. He was managing the Myint Thein when I was deputy director or director there. He's a colonel. So, he came in and all shouting and all this, but it takes about two years for me to get him accustomed to the way we work, because he thinks everybody is taking bribe and stealing. That time, the fuel oil, the diesel and petrol are very scarce. So usually the people, they were allotted, I'm given a jeep, and my quota is say 60 gallons per month. and I can use up to 60 gallon. Whether I use it or not, I can sell the extra. So he was thinking that we were stealing this kind of thing. And so I have to sort of explain to him and please see this boy. He is quite straightforward, and then it takes about 2 years.
Did they ever get accepted by the professionals in the?
Very few, no.
So basically, it was
Quite
always
different. Only thing some of the people will say, pay respects and say yes in the front, out front, but the close association never achieved.
So they always were very separate. And
we have what they call. This is the army system. Maybe it's an English word or other. We call it Daba. Daba is a Indian word, I think.
D-A-B-A-R.
D-U-B-A-R. Daba.
Okay.
Every month, you call all the workers in a room, and they will be sitting, the minister, all the big bosses in the front, and ask them to say what are the grievances, what they want us to help them. So they think this is very good, you see. At first, people get up and say, I have not enough money. I have been here for many years. I didn't get promotion, all the kind of thing. After this dawa, those who get up and make trouble were taken one by one and action, you see, instead of helping them. So it's become a just monkey show.
So no one trusted.
Not trusted. So we did every day, every month.
Yeah. Oh, so
nobody would get up and say, we don't have anything to say. Just kept quiet, didn't say. So if nobody would say, the minister will give his lecture for 1 hour, and they have to listen. You see, this kind of thing.
It sounds like a lot of your day was taken up in administration and very.
Oh yes. We have a very long system of series of the meetings, And sometimes the minister will. The last minister, he was crazy about this environment and building the plants and all this kind of thing. So he will be talking all this thing before we start to really discuss the subject for 1 hour or at least in the meeting. So if you have 2 meetings, your day is gone. Right? So I have to live with that. How can I do? And if he goes back home, say at 5 o'clock or so, he expected the deputy minister and other chief should come and say him farewell before he get into his car. I was expected to go, see? So I have to accompany him, and he would open one door of the car and put one foot on, and it would. Sometimes it takes half an hour. He was giving lecture. We have to stand like this, attention, every day. Every day. That's a life.
So did you ever challenge him? Did you ever stand up to him, or did you?
Well, usually I try to get away from this this head-on collection. I didn't have that, but he didn't trust me also. He didn't trust me. As I said before, right from the very day, he didn't trust anybody.
Yeah, it was not you personally. He didn't trust civilians.
Yeah, but the other 2 are different.
Yeah.
They trusted me.
Yeah.
But they got transferred.
Could he have removed you? Could he have removed you as deputy minister if he wanted to? Could he have sacked you?
He can, but he can send a letter or go put up to the higher ears that it's time that fellow should go. That's how I got, because I was already, I think 2006 is 59 already. So just let me go. He was there. There were about 7 of us in the second single day who got retirement.
Right. But he couldn't remove you.
He couldn't give me the no, because I was appointed by the top man.
Tan Shui.
Tan Shui, yes.
But he could have complained.
He can complain, yeah. He can. Yeah.
But Tan Shui, to your knowledge, for most of the deputy ministers in the different ministries,
He didn't remove that.
He.
Yeah.
So would that have been a very bold thing for him to complain? I suppose he wouldn't want to complain to Tan Shui.
Maybe not. I don't really know. See. He tried to approach Tan Shui as well as number 2 Mao A. Mao A is a first batch TSA, and he is TSA 11. So there was TSA they have this very senior junior, you know.
Yeah.
So he can go and talk to him. But I have no problem with Mao A also. I went to trips together with Mao A also. It seems to be okay. I don't have any financial problems also. But he started doing all these financial wheelings and dealings. I was just talking to Ugo Dan before you arrived. You mentioned about this Australian embassy moving, and then we recently had this Kandoji Palace Hotel burned down. We were talking about this Namtu Baldwin got many great places in Yangon, the best places. I was trying to get a contractor from Malaysia to build the high-rise condominium, and they were asking for 50 years period, and MIC would only give 30 years that time. It was Mamong Ken. So I went and see him and tried to tell him, but he said, look, the law says 30. So anyway, Malaysian didn't get it. The minister's son, you know, he's a young boy, brought in some unknown contractor and they got this plan.
50 years.
Like Kin Shui, you know, the big building is now built, but I don't know how much they get it. I was not looking for any money. I was trying to use this very best place. They got about 3 or 4 places right in the Merchant Street. I suppose you know this all what we call 6-story building, government building, just beside that, near Sulim Pagoda, right in the center. So he started doing this. Also, what happened after what they call the purge of 1997, where this Joe Min and all these people were purged, and this Myint came in. After that, 1997 purge. They were given by instruction by where they talk that welfare of the employee has to be done by yourself. That's how everything got very spoiled.
What does that mean? Welfare done
to give welfare to the welfare mean money or food or clothing or anything, you see, to the workers. You have to look for the unsolicited way, unofficial way of getting money. So how they do? Either they sold this excess diesel, fuel. The easiest way was to rent out the land you own. All the officers got this. The shops nowadays, if you go around, you still got, you know, in front of the government offices, there's a lot of shops. All these are for the to help the workers. So these fellows, they started doing this, and they use this funds for their own. They put it because there is no check. For instance, various in our ministry, we produce copper, gold. Outside price and the official price is very, very different. The authority to sell gold or copper is with the minister. So he can say, look, sell this merchant 100 tons of cattle copper. I have to.
He chooses the price?
At the official price.
Right.
But the difference was given to him by the merchant.
Right.
Half of the difference. I don't know how much he get.
There's one thing I remember back, maybe it was while you were Deputy Minister, as a foreigner.
Yeah.
I couldn't just walk into the Ministry of Mines.
Yeah, you are expected to bring at least a bottle of whiskey, Johnny Walker.
Yeah, but also it was seen like national security. You know, to go in the gate.
It was in my time. At least anybody can come and see me. Only you have to show your passports or you might have to ask me by email that you are arriving so and day. I can tell the gate, please. Later, after I left, that's how this ministry got spoiled and ruined. You see, what happened is they are afraid to receive any foreigner. They start asking a recommendation of if you are Australian minister, the embassy has to write. And finally, if you are representing one company, they ask the resolution of the board of directors of your committee. So people cannot see. People have to wait 3 months to meet. When they meet, they can't get any decision. In my time, I've been meeting a lot of people.
It got more difficult after you left? After
I left.
Yeah.
So everybody got very, very frustrated. They used to come to me because they still know me. Even though I'm retired, they come in to my house or ask me to meet somewhere. And they say, look, please help us. I said, I can't do it because I'm out of this thing. Finally, people got frustrated and they didn't come anymore.
Yeah.
I think you would remember that in my time, I did 4 rounds of international bidding of this various blocks for exploration. Yeah. So a lot of very big participation. A lot of big companies.
Yeah, correct.
From America, Australia, Europe. Yeah. All these people come and see me.
Yeah, correct.
Come and see me, and we are very open. We give them, look, this is the plot. These are the number of plots. You can bid whatever you like, and our terms and conditions, the sort of the contract you have to sign. I gave it to them. They're very interested. The first one was very, very successful.
But maybe in that sense, it was easier then than now.
Yeah, sure. But after the 4th round, we were not able to do it because of this financial crisis of 1997, also 2007 also. So we can't do that anymore. See?
So maybe when I'm saying it's more difficult now, I'm thinking maybe we can just finish on this last issue which you could discuss. The problem now about before the federal, as it were, the central government could make a decision which applied everywhere.
Yeah.
And now you've got the states coming up.
That's right.
That's creating
a very big problem. Also, the existing constitution, they don't give any power to the state at the moment. Unless you change the constitution, they will get some power. But at the moment, already the state government are trying to show their power and want their share. For instance, like Kachin, who are fighting, they said, look, these Myanmar are taking all our mineral. Jade is almost finished. We didn't get any money. They took all the money. So how to do this thing is very difficult. Very difficult. So I told you other day at my conclusion that the main ministry I wanted to see was with the new law and thing. With this under the ministry, we shouldn't have all these state economic enterprises anymore. Only two departments. One is the mines department, who should enforce the law and regulation, like inspectors.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
For instance, just to give you an idea, Thailand got over 500 mine inspectors.
Yeah.
We have less than 6.
I know, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so that's where the problem starts, you see. So you need to administer the law, existing law, and also take the necessary action. The present political government, they dare not take the action also. And the minister, they don't want to get involved in all this problem, so he didn't do anything. For instance, all the blocks, one exploration block got expired, and the agreement say you have to extend it. They won't. They don't extend anymore. See? So what happened? You don't get the extension, but keep on mining illegally. They are doing a lot of things at the moment by paying something to the states.
Do you see, the situation is now? Is that a continuation of the military effect, or is it that the democratic?
I see two things. One is the way of our thinking is still socialistic, because these people have no idea of what other the mining companies on the wall scale are doing. So, for instance, Broken Hill, how they are doing, they never understand this. So they are socialistic. This is one. Another one is the military authority. They want to have authority all the time. So when I say, they asked me about 2013 how to reform the ministry, my suggestion was totally objected, because the way I presented is that all these state economic enterprises should be scrapped. We should have only two departments. They thought they might lose their job, their position. Also, this system of production sharing, without considering whatever if you produce 100 tons, the government take 35 tons, irrespective of how much you profit or how much you. This is still in the law, so nobody can work. So I told them that production sharing system had to be scrapped. In Myanmar, this state economic enterprise has to be scrapped. Don't like it.
All right. So that's about it. Is there anything else?
Yeah. Well, I have only two things to add to my talk. You have some time?
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
One is other day we talk about this about books I read and you read, and I try to remember at that time the book I wanted to mention. Go ahead. It's okay.
Turn it off or leave it on?
But
leave it on or turn it off?
Yeah, leave it on. The book is called Twilight Over Burma. Have you read that? It's about a man. He is a Shan prince. He is about this little bit junior, or about the same as Ukukutan, I think. He's a bit senior than to me. He was a graduate of Colorado School of Mines. His parents, they are Sawwas, the Shan states. And he married Austrian, not Australian, Europe.
Yeah.
She is also on scholarship. in Colorado School of Mines. They met, and he took him.
So which school of mines are you talking about?
Colorado School of Mines.
Colorado.
Yeah. United States.
Yeah.
Because at that time, I mentioned the other day that a lot of 50 state scholars every year we sent. So he was one. I think for him, because he's a prince of Shaanxi, his parents sent him there. But anyway, he brought their wife, and when the Ne Win took over, he was detained and killed while under detention. And that lady wrote this book.
His wife.
And she eventually able to leave the country with 2 daughters. This Twilight over Burma. I have the book.
I'll try and get it.
Try to get it. But anyhow, what I wanted to say was, this incident is somewhat connected to me, because he is the Savoir, or the prince of Tibor area. I happen to have to develop this gypsum for our cement plant. Now we have many cement plants. Previously, the British left only one plant. I was asked to produce a large scale gypsum, and this gypsum is situated at Tibor town, where this prince has his palace. And because he is a trained mining engineer, he started designing about how to develop his states, and this gypsum was one of his attention. And also there was some native salt around there. So he started mining salt in his time. That I learned later, you see. But gypsum he hasn't started. I have to start this gypsum mine. But it was a big challenge for me. Big challenge. Because just beside the deposit there was a big river called Dotawari. Everybody said, you are a fool. Because if you go and dig there, then your mine will be flooded. And you won't be able to do it. And we did it together with some of the young engineers. And the mine opened in 1974. It's still producing now. So 74 now is 43 years.
And so that the prince that you worked with was later died.
Well, I never met him.
You never met him,
but somehow the story relates, you see, because I read this. I tried to get that book and read about him, and he's quite a nice man.
And what's the last story? You said there's 2 things that you...
Yeah, 2 things. There's one. The thing, I left the paper there, but only yesterday, it's in Myanmar. How the country became spoiled after my time, it came out only yesterday. That I mentioned about budget other day, just now. We asked for budget. Whatever we earn, the system is we put into what they call consolidated fund.
Yeah.
Consolidated fund. Whatever I earn, I put in. But in the Myint Thein same time, they put a system, what they call other accounts. And they are doing this EITI, and EITI found out that
environmental
extractive industry transparency initiative. EITI. Yeah. Their first report, there was I got a journal, he's reading it, from American organization who make the inquiry, and they found that these government departments were not contributing to the central fund the full amount. Especially the worst is this oil and gas. Billions of dollars were set aside in the other accounts, and nobody knows how much interest they are getting in the bank, how much the banks are giving, and how they are used. And surprised to know. That's why I mentioned my Myint Thein was also included there, even though it's a small amount. Where I become a managing director, I think but this was started in 2013-14, in the same time. Now it's a big round. That's the 2 points I wanted to say.
So look, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So you can use whatever you like, or this is how I am part of my life. You see,
That's why we're here. So I'll turn it off now. Thank you.
Okay.